Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Nicholas Earle, and welcome back to another episode of Earle Sports Bets. Doing something new here. It's fun trying to bring in new people to talk some football and things along those lines. And we have Holton Ahlers, former quarterback of the ECU Pirates. Of course, you guys know I'm an ECU Pirate as well. Holton Ahlers, former quarterback. Holton Ahlers show as well. We'll talk about that at the end of the video as well. Check out his podcast. I do work with his podcast as well, so it's a lot of fun. So be sure to check that out as well. But he's here to give out a couple college football picks. We're going to be looking at two games. We're going to be looking at Virginia and Wake Forest, and then we're going to look at Jacksonville State, Louisville. So what's good, Holton? And you ready to talk some football here?
Earl, let's go, man. Thanks for having me on. You're on my show, so I'm hyped I get to join yours and get to see the ESB crowd, man, get in front of the fans.
Oh, yeah. So super excited. We'll get it started here. We have the Virginia Cavaliers taking on the Wake Forest Deacons. We have the Deacons here around 2-point favorites. I'm seeing around 115, 120 on the money line here. The total is 57 in this game. Where are we going for this first one here?
Yeah, I'll tell you, Earl, look, it's at Wake Forest. I think this is a program game. I think, the spread is so close. You just got to look at the program. Who has a better program right now? I think Dave Clawson does at Wake Forest. I'm taking Wake Forest -2. I think it's a touchdown. They'll win by at least a touchdown, maybe 10 to 14 points. So I'm going to take Wake Forest. I think it's like I said. Virginia's got a young quarterback. Wake Forest has an experienced quarterback. Virginia's on that edge, man. They're like, are they trending in the right direction? Are they falling off? Wake Forest has an established program. They didn't play great last year. They still got a good culture, though. I think this is a culture game. I'm taking Wake Forest -2 there.
Yeah, these are two programs that kind of struggled last year. Wake Forest, we saw they lost their last 5 games last year. Both unproven. They both played FCS opponents in the first week as well. Wake Forest beat up on NCAAF, the Aggies, and then the Cavaliers beat the Spiders of Richmond there 34-13. So interesting spot there. Personally, I would look towards probably just the money line with Wake Forest. It's only -115, -120. When things are in between the 2.5s, I just lay the money lines and stuff like that. So we'll look at the second game here you want to bring up, Jacksonville State and Louisville. It's a 29.5, and you were mentioning before we hit record for this one, this line's moved an awful lot. Total 58 in this game. Where are you looking here?
I'm taking Louisville, man. I got them on. I'll still take them -29.5. I had them earlier in the week. I got them -20.5. Look, Louisville crushed Austin Peay last week. They look really good. People are forgetting Louisville had a baller of a team last year, man. I mean, they were in the ACC championship and played really well. Yes, they lost their quarterback and they lost their coach, but they still got this. Or no, they didn't lose their coach. It's second year, man. But look, they played really well last week. And let's not forget Jacksonville State last week went and played with Coastal and got absolutely clobbered there, almost lost by this spread. And I think Louisville's a way better team than Coastal Carolina. This line's kind of disrespectful. I know once you get above the 30s in college football, it's kind of a toss-up. I think this is an easy line. I think Louisville's going to run away with this one easy. They got a really good team. Yes, they lost their quarterback. They got an experienced quarterback, Tyler Shuck, out of the transfer portal, a guy that I know pretty well. So I think this is an easy line. Like I said, I got them at 20.5. and loved it. I wish I would have put more money on it. I still like them at -29.5. So I think this will be a blowout in the making. And I think they could cover 20.5 in the first half, Earl. And then, obviously I think they'll cover the 29.5 throughout the game.
Yeah, this is a spot. It's a weird spot because you mentioned it was 20.5 at open. And to me, seeing a 9-point line movement, I want to turn around and take the Gamecocks in this matchup. I was on Coastal last week. I gave that out for your for
you did, Earl. You did.
I gave out Coastal money line. I was one of my 2 winners last week. Both were plus money. I would look towards Jacksonville State at the 30 number here personally, because another thing I like to look at when it comes to week 2 is how are people going to overreact of what they saw week 1. Now, obviously, Louisville, you can't take too much from that because they played an FCS school. They played Austin Peay. By the way, unfortunate to see for Austin Peay, Mason Garcia got carted off the field in that game, former ECU quarterback. So that was kind of rough to see there. And I don't think Jacksonville State could have looked any worse against Coastal Carolina, losing 55-27. So for me, I haven't gotten to this game yet. I want to see if this gets above 31, because if this gets 31.5, I think I might go the opposite way here. Just a small lean at the moment for me towards the Gamecocks in that spot. But Holton saying that laying the points with the Cardinals here in this spot. One last thing I wanted to talk about, there's another reason why I wanted to bring you on here, is I want to show off a little bit to the Earle Sports Bets viewing crowd. The Holton Ahlers Show, at Holt Ahlers Show on Twitter. It's Twitter, not X. It's Twitter. Thank you very much. We post weekly podcasts over on Pirate Radio TV, so be sure to give them some love. The link to that will be in the description down below. Talk about this week's podcast for the Holton Ahlers Show.
Yeah, man. ECU great and former NFL great, really. Jeff Blake, one of the best deep balls to ever throw a football, quarterback. So he joined the pod and talked a little bit about his playing days. And we also talk about bets like this, too. We post on our social media all the time. Not going to say it all. We went 4-0 last week on our bets, man. It had like 20,000 views. All the fans are like, I'm tailing Holton now. I'm like, oh, God, I got to have a good week this week. So I'm sure you know about fans tailing, but yeah, man, we post a lot of stuff. It's a Barstool, Pat McAfee style show. Earle's the producer, obviously. So yeah, man, we have fun with it. It's a blast. We always have cool guests. We've had Stanford Steve from College Game Day, the game day picker, up there. So we've had all types of guests, and it's a weekly show. And we're getting to a lot more content now. I'm posting film breakdowns now, betting segments, obviously. So it's been a blast, man. Yeah, go check it out and keep supporting Earle too, man. This is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I watched the film breakdown from the quarterback's perspective and from someone who actually knows the ins and outs of football. That was really entertaining to watch. Somebody explain some of it's borderline Chinese to me with the certain formations and stuff like that. I don't know the game that in depth, but it's fun to hear the in-depth breakdown. So of course that's over on the Twitter, I believe. That's not on the YouTube, right? That's
it's on Twitter. YouTube as well. Yeah, YouTube as well.
That's awesome. So yeah, the links to everything will be down in the description below for the Holton Ahlers Show. But that is going to wrap up the first episode here of Free Picks with Holton Ahlers. Quick little recap, and then we will head on out. Wake Forest laying the 2. And then Louisville laying the 29.5. Anything else you would like to say before we head on out here, Holton?
That's it, man. Keep supporting. Go support the pod and keep supporting the Earle Sports Bets, man. Appreciate you for having me on.
Absolutely. We want to thank you guys as always for watching, and good luck with everything this weekend.